They narrowly missed out on qualification for the playoffs last year. They've got a new captain, a forced change for them as far as the Delhi Capitals are concerned, but they'd be hoping that they go that extra mile this time around in the 2023 edition of the IPL. Rahul joins me today as we build up to this playing 11 for the Delhi team that still look good. Of course, a huge hole, a huge gap now because of the absence of Rishabh Pant, and that's really changed their likely 11, and we'll hear to talk about what that best playing 11 for the team from Delhi could be like. Rahul, when we look at the squad, it's still a good squad even when you see that Rishabh Pant's not there.
It's actually a tricky situation for Delhi Capitals. You know, in the absence of Rishabh Pant, you are not just losing a captain, but you're also losing a very good Indian wicketkeeper.
Yeah.
So that changes the scenario, I think, completely, because now you have to see who your wicketkeeper is going to be and whether he's going to be an Indian or he's going to be an overseas player. So that actually changes a bit of dynamics for Delhi Capitals. And also, if you're looking for an Indian wicketkeeper, maybe it could be a makeshift wicketkeeper. It could be Sarfraz.
Yes.
It could be somebody else. They have been they've been trying a few options in that camp that they've been holding. Firstly, here near the Aerocity in Delhi, and then they've had a couple of sessions at Firozshah Kotla also, and I think they're going to continue with those trials and those practice games. I'm told that I think tomorrow, that is Wednesday, they will have a practice game also with some of those French players. A lot of those players will be playing in that practice game. But yes, the absence of Rishabh Pant will hurt them, not just as a captain, not just as a batsman, but also as a wicket keeper, and that too an Indian wicket keeper.
Absolutely. So without wasting any more time, yes, of course, Rishabh Pant, like we were saying, is definitely, it's going to change the whole dynamic for the Delhi Capitals. But let's just go ahead and see what we have here with the squad that's out. Let's just try and build the best 11 for the Delhi Capitals. If in one place they look absolutely sorted, if you ask me, that's their opening pair. That's the
I think
the batting, I would say.
I think top three.
Top three,
not the entire batting, but I think their top three looks very sorted. The moment they went into the auction, I think they haven't tinkered with their batting order. At least the top three. Yes, Rishabh Pant, if he would have been there, he would have batted at number 4. There lies the problem. I think their problem starts from that number 4. But as far as top 3 is concerned, I think everybody would guess those 3 names. One, of course, would be their new captain in David Warner.
A good captain to have, by the way. It's been a leadership change. He's an IPL winning captain already, and yeah.
Unfortunately, not in great form. But then David Warner is an experienced player, and also you can actually call him an IPL legend. You won't find too many overseas players or batters who scored those many runs that David Warner has scored. And as you said, he's won them a trophy. Sunrisers Hyderabad, of course, they won a trophy under David Warner. So that's pretty sorted. Their opener, their captain, David Warner. Prithvi Shaw, of course, even he would be eager to make a mark. After all, all these controversies aside, he is one player you can actually bank upon as far as IPL is concerned. Prithvi Shaw.
Also, decent nick, I would say. Prithvi Shaw has been in. Yes, as you said, Warner has struggled for those runs, but Prithvi Shaw had a good Syed Mushtaq Ali Trophy, was operating around 180 strike rate, if I'm not wrong. There was this marathon knock that we saw in the Ranji Trophy also for him. So things are looking okay.
The only thing that worries me is we'll come to that as we.
Also, can we just put an asterisk over there for Warner, because he also happens to be one of the 4 players or 3 players. We'll see what our 11 looks like.
So number 3, I think, also would be an Australian in Mitchell Marsh. And you also have to remember that majority of their games they will play at Firozshah Kotla.
7 of them.
Traditionally a slow turner. So you have to have some good spinners. Do they actually have those good spinners? You have Yeah, Kuldeep Yadav definitely is there. You know, he is a confidence player, and last season he was absolutely brilliant amongst the top wicket takers, and that actually led to his comeback in the Indian team as well. So Mitchell Marsh, this is, I think, pretty okay. Now comes the problem. Who your number 4 is going to be? You need a wicket keeper also. So the options that you have, you know, you can actually.
You've got a Manish Pandey.
You've got a Manish Pandey. You've got a Sarfaraz Khan also. You've got a Ripple Patel. You've got a Lalit Yadav. But can they actually, the likes of Lalit Yadav and Ripple Patel, can they bat so high in that batting order at number 4? I have my doubts.
Which is why I think, you know, and we're going to be talking about the wicket-keeping issue with Delhi Capitals in the times, you know, in a couple of moments. But at number 4, I think with the experience that Manish Pandey sort of brings in, he was got into the side in the recent, you know, auction as well. I think that was the thinking, because they knew they had to fill this number 4 spot with somebody who had experience, and Manish Pandey, not somebody who set the stage on fire, but again brings you that experience, give you some sort of assurance which, let's say, a Lalit Yadav or a Ripple Patel cannot give. Both of them were tried last year.
You know, the only problem that I have with Manish Pandey is he's born and brought up on those Bangalore wickets, where the ball comes nicely onto the bat, and at Kotla the wicket is going to be slow, and he's not batting high in the batting order when you see this. So he's not going to be facing that new ball when the ball is hard and new, and I could actually come onto your bat. So if you are batting him at number 4, I have my doubts if he is going to be successful. See, in the last few years we've seen that A, he's struggling to get those big knocks. B, he is struggling to score at a decent pace. So I have my doubts.
So who would you slot at number 4?
Eventually, you might actually see a Manish Pandey here at number 4, but I am actually going with one of the foreign players. I know 3 of my foreign players, if they come at number 4, which means I'm left with just one option. One option for an overseas player, and that I most likely I'm going to utilize it in that bowling. See, Nortje, because South Africa has to play that Netherlands game
series.
So first game Nortje won't be available.
Actually makes things very interesting.
But then Mustafizur, I think, most likely would come in
but Delhi can still make do without playing Fizz as well. Again, that's the thing with Delhi. I think they still can you know, go ahead, but then all India bowling line.
But there'll be a bit of inexperience. See,
Khalil
Ahmed, you don't know, because he hasn't bowled much in the recent past. Of course, he went through that surgery. He also is coming back after an injury forced layoff. So I don't know how he is going to fare.
They're expecting a lot out of Mukesh Kumar, who also, by the way, they placed a lot of money on him. They rate him very highly, but again, it's that inexperience, and which is why, yes, I agree with you. You'd probably want, in the absence of Nortje, perhaps later in the tournament, you could go ahead and
also, you know, in the death, you will need a bit of experience. I know you have the likes of, you know, somebody like, you have Mustafizur, you have Chetan Sakaria. I think Chetan Sakaria should definitely start. Khalil Ahmed, we don't know what he is going to come up with. So you need a good death bowler as well, where I think Mustafizur fits the bill. So I am, especially in the absence of Nortje, I might just go in with Mustafizur, but of course your suggestions are more than welcome. But at 4, either I am going with
Phil Salt,
Russo.
Okay.
How do you spell him?
R-O-S-S-O-U-W, I believe.
O-U-W. Okay. So I am going with Russo. Then now I can also go with Phil Salt. So Phil Salt, what he is going to do for me in this 11 is he can also
the wicket as well.
Keep wickets. Okay. So this is the reason why I know Phil Salt is a top order batsman, but maybe number 4 I can actually go with Phil Salt.
But I'll tell you what, Rahul, I think we can make things very interesting here. There is another option that Delhi could explore. Yes, Salt probably, you know, would like to have batted a little up. what you can do is, if you're looking at Sarfaraz to keep wickets for you, it'll be a bit of an experiment. We've seen him do that in the past, in those photographs as well that were doing the rounds a couple of days back. You could see him donning the gloves too.
Yes.
If you can trust Sarfaraz to keep the wickets for you, then what you can do is you probably don't need to play either of them. It gives you the option of probably, because again, if you play a Russo and then a Sarfaraz take care of the wickets for you. You can bring in an additional batter, somebody who can bat lower down the order as well. So you don't really need Salt, because Salt, again, if you have those doubts about Salt, let's say that at number 4 can
then you have a tried and tested player in Riley Russo. I know that's the only problem.
That's the thing. Then because if you go with either of these, then Pal will have to.
That's the only problem that I'm facing. Then we'll come to that. Yeah. Then I am going with Sarfaraz as my wicket keeper. So Riley Russo, he actually for South Africa also he bats in the middle order. So Riley Russo at number 4. So my entire firepower in this Delhi capital lies here in top 4. Warner, Prithvi Shaw, Mitchell Marsh and Riley Russo or Phil Salt. You never know, maybe Phil Salt can be a very good option. We've not seen him in the middle order. Maybe I'm actually now I can go with Sarfaraz as my wicket keeper here. We'll come back to it. We can change a few things, as Harshit also pointed out. At number 6 now, unfortunately, I don't have a finisher like Rovman Powell anymore.
Yes.
So now,
which is where I'll tell you what, Rahul. See, Aksar will definitely be coming in at 7. The thing with the Capitals then becomes that after number 7, you don't have anyone who can bat. In this lineup, we'll have to bring in Aksar over here, and that just leaves you with.
I think that's where the role of these substitutes or impact player would come in. So I can actually have a Lalit Yadav or an Akshar Patel over here. But as of now, we know what Akshar Patel is capable of with the bat. So Akshar is good enough to bat at number 6. But right now, I'm just going in with Lalit Yadav at 6 and Akshar at 7.
I've got a question for you over there, though. Would you rather have somebody like a Lalit Yadav bat at number 6 or let's say Manish Pandey at number 4? Who gives you more confidence? Because if you're able to slot Manish over here, then Sarfaraz stays here and then you can bring in somebody like a Powell and then
No, I get your point and you are right also, but the only problem is then my batting is limited only to number 3, to top 3. Sarfaraz, unfortunately in T20, as you yourself said, he's not set the stage on fire, so he doesn't give me that sort of a confidence. Manish Pandey, once again, even Manish Pandey doesn't give me that sort of a confidence. At least here I know I've got 2 international standard players in Riley Russo and Phil Salt. Whoever takes that spot, either Phil Salt or Riley Russo, and that's the only reason why I am going with this top 6 and or 7 in Akshar Patel. Then as in bowlers,
this is where the next weakness for the Delhi Capitals sort of comes in. Of course, that Rishabh Pant, the factor we've already spoken about, because after number 7 you can't get any batting. From the bottom 4 you won't get any runs, and this is where I think Delhi Capitals could be found wanting in the season.
True.
It's a very top heavy side. All of these guys are match winners in themselves, barring I would say Lalit, who's yet to really make a mark in the IPL, but then you don't get any runs from 8, 9, 10 and 11. That's the limitation.
Exactly. And also, by the way, then Lalit Yadav and Mitchell Marsh would be your fifth bowler.
And you don't quite know if Mitch Marsh can give you 2 overs also. We didn't see him do that in the ODI series.
Yes, that's the problem. So I think that's going to be a problem, and more often than not, you will see Delhi Capitals fielding a bowler as an impact player. That's the only concern that I have, and you never know. See, what you are saying is not wrong, to have a Manish Pandey, but Manish Pandey and Sarfaraz at 4 and 5 will not give me that much of confidence.
The only thing with that, and why I'm also a little circumspect about that, is because with that I am then telling myself that okay, I have Sarfaraz Khan, who is my makeshift keeper. Again, between the two of them, at any day have Salt as a better wicket keeping option. With that, I am going into the competition saying, okay, we'll see what happens behind the wickets. I'm ready to take a chance, but I need more confidence in the batting. In this, yes, of course, I am assured, let's say, of runs from Salt and decent wicket keeping as well, because you can't be.
Yeah, see, it's not guaranteed that if you're playing Riley Russo and Phil Salt in place of a Manish Pandey at number 4, that they will give you runs and Manish Pandey won't. But I think it's a confidence thing that who are you more confident about? Am I more confident about a Riley Russo or Phil Salt or a Manish Pandey? Unfortunately, I have to say here that I have to go with Riley Russo. Well, team management, Ricky Ponting, Saurav Ganguly, they may have other ideas. They may say that, we've got firepower here in top 3. Let's experiment with 4 and 5. Then we can have Rovman Powell as a finisher.
Yes.
And also a utility bowler.
Yes, can give you a couple of overs as well.
So bowling at least, because Norke is not there in
the first couple of overs, so first matches.
So what I'm going to do is Mustafizur
/ Norke. Yeah, that's going to be the thing going forward as well.
Then Sakaria definitely should start, and then Khalil, and now your spinner would be Kuldeep.
In fact, I think Delhi also have the option of having
but that would be
because again
Mukesh
Kumar, exactly, because then 2 left-handers, again you probably don't want that, depending on the
Mustafizur is playing, then
all 3 exactly. So
and maybe 3 if you include Kuldeep also, you have 3 left-arm bowlers.
Exactly. So probably in the first few matches, maybe because Norke is not going to be available, you could just see Mukesh Kumar instead of Sakaria in the first few games, so that at least you have one right arm pace bowler, which doesn't quite look like the case.
So to start with, Chetan Sakaria and Mustafizur are very similar sort of bowlers, and so I might just go, but despite that I might go with Mukesh in place of Khalil, because I don't know how much Khalil, he might be a bit rusty also, Khalil Ahmed coming back after that injury layoff. So I might just go. But on Delhi wickets, where the wicket is a bit on the slower side, Mustafizur and Sakaria with their cutters can be actually very effective, by the way. Mustafizur, we know in the death with those with the cutters that he usually throws with the wrist, he is very effective on any sort of surface. But on Delhi wickets, both of them could be actually very
very interesting, I was just looking, because again we're all aware of the impact player rule. Now you can only field 3 international players for you to bring in an international player as your this thing, because you're missing out on somebody like a Parl who is a proven match winner for the Delhi Capitals.
Unfortunately, he won't be able to play as a substitute also. Why? Because he is an overseas player. So at least in this lineup.
In this lineup, yes. But let's say if going forward, Delhi are to go ahead with that experiment of trusting somebody like a Sarfaraz with the gloves, they're playing somebody like a Manish Pandey over here, that gives you one additional slot then. So then you're only playing Warner, Marsh and Norkia. If that is the scenario, then you don't know.
They might just see. They can do. See, on paper, Akshar Patel, an India player, Kuldeep Yadav, another India player, Khalil also has played for India in the past, Mustafizur and Norke, regulars in their national teams. So on paper, they don't look that bad, but now the option of 5th bowler could be very crucial for them. Lalit Yadav and Marsh, they have to rely on both of them to complete that quota of for the 5th bowler. But I think this is where they might have to fill in for that 5th bowler spot. So either they can strengthen their bowling, or they can unfortunately the squad that they have, and because of the absence of Rishabh Pant, either they can strengthen their batting or strengthen their bowling. So that's the case here. At least maybe top 4 I've got there. I've got a few and top performers, international standard top performers. 5-6 looks a little bleak, although Lalit Yadav has done has done pretty decently for Delhi Capitals in the past. We'll give you those overs
couple of overs as well,
especially on those slow surfaces of Firozshah Kotla. So you've got 1, 2, 3 spinners. So Plus Mustafizur and Sakaria.
Well, it's I think going to be very interesting, because again Delhi do have that option of tinkering between 4 and 6, and remember they're going to be playing 7 games at the Kotla, small ground. So somebody like a Powell becomes even more influential, especially playing in Delhi, where again a miss hit for somebody like him could also give you a 6.
A small ground.
Exactly.
But so is the case with somebody like Railu
Russo. Absolutely.
So I think this number 4 spot and number 5, I think this is the
catch.
This is the puzzle that Saurav Ganguly and Ricky Ponting have to solve if they are to do well. So imagine just one player has perhaps disrupted this entire jigsaw puzzle for the Delhi Capitals. Yeah. So for me, this is my 11. Substitute, you have the options, and you don't have those big names when you talk about those Indian recruits.
You've got a Dhul youngster, you've got a Kamlesh Nagarkoti.
Kamlesh Nagarkoti, maybe you can have him as
a substitute. Yes, absolutely.
Nagarkoti as your substitute.
Dhul again. By the way, Dhul could also be somebody they could explore. Let's say, because he didn't at the number 4 spot.
He all his life he's played at as an opener.
But again, he doesn't get there.
And now he hasn't done very good in domestic cricket. Also, he had a great start to his domestic season where he got runs, hundreds. I think in Dilip Trophy, in Ranji Trophy. But if you see the last season, especially towards the end, it seemed as if he was falling off track. Yeah. So that's it. For me, this looks the arrangement. I won't say that this is, but Harshit feels that you can actually have at 4 you can have Manish Pandey, at number 5 you can have you can actually go in with Sarfaraz, and then at number 6 you can have somebody like Rauman Powell, who would give you that fill in that finisher's role, which is actually maybe, you never know, maybe that is where this 11 lacks, in the depth, which Harshit is saying Rauman Powell can solve that puzzle if you get a Manish Pandey here. But you have to back your players if this bowling lineup is good enough. That's why I'm saying, Ripple Patel of course is a batter, a middle order batsman. In last season, Ripple Patel and Lalit Yadav,
interchange between
they played either Ripple Patel would play or Lalit Yadav, so that can happen. But for me, I think, and you never know, maybe Kamlesh Nagarkoti or Mukesh, it could be Khalil Yadav, Khalil Ahmed, Mukesh and Nagarkoti. It could be a slash between all 3 of them. But for me, this is my 11. Harshit thinks there could be a few changes.
But the thing with both the way that Rahul and I have put this team together, the bowling looks pretty much the same. Yes, of course, there's a lot of options that you can get in the bowling. Again, depends how many left armers you want to play.
Makeshift bowlers.
Exactly.
And also because Mitchell Marsh, we don't know if he's going to
if he suddenly becomes fit, let's say, which doesn't quite look to be the case. We've not got any sort of an inkling yet that he's going to give you 4 overs. It would have been a different story altogether had Mitch Marsh been fit. But the fact that there's no Rishabh Pant, the fact that there's an unfit Mitch Marsh, somebody you firstly would hope, by the way, that he's fit for the entire season. That's what the Delhi Capitals would want, to go as far as they can in the tournament. But very quickly, Rahul, before we wrap up, does this look like the team that can make it to the playoffs?
Well, they can if their batting clicks, because I think for Kotla wicket they've got the kind of bowling that they actually need. Mustafizur, as I said, on that slow surface, Mustafizur with his cutters, Sakaria with his cutters, Kuldeep Yadav, a very effective and handy left arm Chinaman. Then you have Akshar Patel, experienced, high on confidence. He's been playing well, especially with the bat. I'm sure he is not going to bat at number 7. There is a possibility, I think high possibility, that he might bat higher up the order. Maybe at number 5. At number 5. You never know. Maybe at number 4. If you want to. But you would need some depth in the batting, because in that case, you know, if Akshar bats at number 4 or number 5, then you can actually have Rahman Powell at number
yes.
6. So and then you can fill in with a Sarfaraz, a Manish Pandey, but Manish Pandey definitely will be out of place in that case. You know, if Akshar Patel bats at number 4, you can have Lalit Yadav, and then at 6 you can have Rahman Powell, and 7 could be you know, another player. Or even a not a foreign player, you know, somebody an all-rounder sort of a player.
Yeah.
So that would give you a depth. But I think this would be, to start with, this would be a safer 11 for me. So you can actually, you guys can also chip in with your 11 if you think there could be changes, as Harshit definitely feels that there could be and there should be a few changes, because this 11 looks a little one-sided, maybe. But if you guys have other options, maybe there are a few people out there from Delhi Capitals who might be listening to you.
Absolutely.
So you can also.
So exactly, don't shy away. Let us know in the comment section what you think of our 11 and where you agree or disagree with us. We always love to hear from you. Thank you. There was Rahul Rawat, Harshit Ahuja. Bye bye.